zoning map to establish Offenders Blue Butterfly Overlay Zone. Potential first reading of ordinance number 2011-0241. Glenn?
Good afternoon. As you all are aware, we have been working at this for quite a while. And for the benefit of members of the public who are here today and perhaps have not been to as many of the hearings, I will do a brief recap. The purpose of this proceeding and the proposed amendments to the Development Code and the County Code are to implement a portion of the Habitat Conservation Plan that the county developed, U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service approved. These amendments would enable Benton County to offer mitigation on behalf of private property owners for construction activities that they otherwise would have to go through a more arduous process involving the federal government, U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service, in order to ensure that their development construction activities would not impact the habitat of Offenders Blue Butterfly, which is a federally protected and endangered species. In light of that, we have been working to get these amendments adopted as expeditiously as possible, because it's really a means to make things easier for everybody involved, particularly property owners. Implementing a habitat conservation plan at a local level within Oregon's statewide land use system has, to my knowledge, not been done before. So we're somewhat treading on new territory. We embarked on this process believing it was a legitimate path to get these amendments adopted, but it has become clear through conversations with a number of parties that perhaps this is not the most legally correct method for getting these amendments in place. And so, given that there is that concern and the potential of legal challenge to the procedure that we followed, we think that it's prudent and probably the best course of action at this time for the county to consider suspending or ending this current process. The board has already initiated, at the last meeting, initiated the process to go back to square one, start over with the amendment process, which will, for the urban growth areas of Corrales and Paloma, necessitate working with those entities. And so this is the public hearing. Have not had a chance yet to hear public comment, so I would encourage you to do that. But at this time, staff's recommendation would be to discontinue the process that is currently underway, understanding that we are starting over and we'll be working towards getting this done, getting the Habitat Conservation Plan adopted into the comprehensive plan, all of our I's dotted and T's crossed.
So what you're talking about, if I can ask a question, is basically integrating some of the provisions of the conservation plan into the comprehensive plan. I'm trying to get that clear.
At the least, what we need to do is reference or make the HCP a part of, by reference, part of the comprehensive plan. So it needs to be a formally adopted document.
Although the HCP still stands as it is.
It still stands as a document that can guide our activities and is the basis of our incidental take permit from the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service. But this would take it through the post-acknowledgement plan amendment process, the land use system
So if we do that, if we do the suspension as you suggest, a property owner could still come to the county for, an application under the county's take permit?
The downside to this is we are currently not able to and still would not be able to issue an incidental take permit to a private property owner.
So they would have to go to Fish and Wildlife?
It would still be dealing with Fish and Wildlife until we get this
Okay.
completed. And that was the impetus for trying to get this done as quickly as possible. But we also need to do it legally, correct.
So that's U.S. Fish and Wildlife?
U.S. Fish and Wildlife.
Go ahead.
I just want to clarify the staff recommendation. It's either to suspend or to discontinue this process, start over again. And I don't know the difference legally between suspend and discontinue.
Well, I think not suspend.
No.
I think Greg's recommendation is really to end this process without enacting an ordinance, allowing staff to start over again on a different path.
Correct.
And that path might take consultations with some other agencies or?
Well, if I understand, Greg and I talked about this yesterday, Fish and Wildlife is comfortable with Benton County moving forward on a new path for comprehensive plan amendment for those areas outside of urban growth boundaries, outside of urban growth boundaries. And then a separate concurrent track for amendment of the HCP into our comprehensive plan for those areas that are inside
Okay.
urban growth boundaries. Because as you know, the process for amending our comprehensive plan for anything outside of urban growth boundaries is straightforward. It's just us. But once we have to amend a comprehensive plan inside urban growth boundaries, we involve the cities.
Okay.
Where we're affected. In this case, it would be Corvallis to a very small extent and Bologna.
Thank you for that clarity.
Is that right, Greg?
So then, why would we start over with that that's outside of the UG?
Because
It's just something.
in both cases, inside UGBs and outside UGBs, we still need to adopt the habitat conservation plan into the comprehensive plan. And this process before you.
You're just kind of trying to bifurcate it a little bit.
Right, because one process won't take longer than
Okay.
And so getting back to the technical term, in the motion B is decline to enact the ordinance.
Any questions?
That ordinance doesn't have a number yet. Usually they don't get a number until they're enacted.
It's got a number.
It's got a number.
It's a thing.
I guess for
Any further
legislative
questions?
review later.
That's exactly right.
Okay, so should we be taking?
It would probably be appropriate for you to take testimony, even though you now have staff recommendation. It may change testimony from individuals, but we've pushed this on far enough that I think you now have folks here from the police.
So,
This one actually does not have a sign-in sheet because of the public testimony was previously closed. So this one will need to be reopened.
That's right.
well, is that accurate, or can we just take
Just
comment?
Just reopen.
We'll just reopen the public
Okay.
testimony portion of it.
Okay, so we'll reopen the public testimony portion of this matter. And ask those who would like to testify about this matter. Who would like to testify?